All right, so we are back for another deep dive, and this time, it's going to be a wild one,
Oh, yeah. Salem is never short on drama.
especially this week. Okay, so we've got summaries of the latest episodes, and let me tell you, things are about to get messy.
Yeah, the writers definitely turned up the heat this time around.
For sure, like Vivian alone is enough to make your head spin. Arrested at the Salem Inn.
Classic Vivian.
Right, like who else gets busted at a fancy hotel?
Well, I mean, she's not exactly known for laying low.
True, but it just gets crazier from there.
Oh, yeah. The arrest is just the tip of the iceberg.
So she demands a lawyer naturally, tries to grab Jada's gun,
Talk about a desperate move.
desperate and totally Vivian.
Exactly. She thrives on this kind of chaos.
And then she ends up in the hospital unconscious. You'd think that would slow her down.
Not a chance.
Hope Vivian's got more lives than a cat.
And that's where Ivan comes in.
Her trusty sidekick.
More like her ride or die henchman.
Yeah, he sneaks into the hospital, helps her fake a medical emergency, even forges a note to throw everyone off the scent.
Their loyalty is impressive.
In a completely messed up kind of way.
Definitely not condoning their methods, but you gotta admit their bond is something else.
It's like a twisted version of Bonnie and Clyde.
Salem edition.
Okay, so while Vivian is out here pulling off prison breaks, we've got Chad trying to figure out his life,
Talk about a guy going through it.
seriously grieving Abigail, catching feelings for Kat. It's a lot to process.
Classic rebound territory, but with a Salem twist.
Oh yeah, because Kat's brother is Aaron. And Chad thinks Aaron might be involved with Abigail's murder.
Talk about bad timing.
The writers are really putting Chad through the ringer. And then we throw Clyde Weston into the mix.
As if things weren't complicated enough.
Right. Clyde's return throws a wrench into everything.
Especially with that offer he makes to Chad.
Ugh, that poisoned apple.
Information about Abigail's remains. In exchange for dropping the charges against Kat.
Who even thinks like that?
Clyde Weston, that's who.
But it's such a messed up situation.
It preys on Chad's grief.
And puts him in an impossible position.
Seriously, what would you do in his shoes?
Seek justice for your dead wife. Or protect the woman you're falling for.
There are no easy answers in Salem.
Okay, speaking of complicated family dynamics, can we talk about Kat, Mark, and Aaron?
Oh boy, the Green siblings are a whole other level of messy.
It's like a soap opera cliche come to life. Long-lost siblings reunited under dramatic circumstances.
But there's more to it than just that.
Oh yeah, the mystery surrounding their mother's fate.
Adds a whole new layer of intrigue.
And then there's Aaron's thirst for revenge against Clyde,
He blames Clyde for their mother's disappearance.
which adds another layer of tension to everything. Plus, Aaron just found out Kat's been keeping her identity a secret from Chad.
So many secrets, so little time.
It's like a powder keg waiting to explode.
And we haven't even touched on how this reveal impacts Chad and Kat's relationship.
Right. Imagine finding out the woman you're falling for is the sister of the man you suspect murdered your wife.
Salem is a breeding ground for dysfunctional relationships.
Okay, but let's lighten the mood for a second. Rafe and Jada, they actually found some happiness amidst all this chaos.
It's a sweet moment.
Rafe's proposal, Jada's tearful acceptance.
It's a reminder that not everything in Salem is doom and gloom.
But of course, the writers wouldn't let us have too much joy. Enter Gabi. She finds out about Stefan's goodbye letter and the finalization of their divorce.
Ouch.
Yeah, ouch is right.
Her reaction is raw and understandable.
She's hurt, confused, probably a little pissed.
And then there's EJ lurking in the background.
Still carrying a torch for Gabi.
This love triangle is far from over.
Oh, absolutely. We all know EJ can't resist stirring the pot, especially when it comes to Gabi.
This is gonna get messy.
Oh yeah, but before we dive into that potential drama, let's circle back to Vivian. Because, honey, this escape artist is just getting started.
She's like a cockroach, she just can't kill her off.
Even after that whole hospital stunt, she's still scheming and plotting.
This woman is relentless. Vivian is like, she loves the drama of it all.
She really does.
But meanwhile, Chad is over here trying to deal with like a whole other level of drama.
Yeah, he's got so much on his plate.
Grief and guilt, and now this whole thing with Kat.
Yeah, talk about complicated.
On one hand, he has this genuine connection with Kat. There's this real sense of comfort and understanding there.
Yeah, you can see it.
But on the other hand, there's the whole shadow of Abigail's death hanging over everything.
And the fact that Kat is Aaron's sister.
Right. Talk about a recipe for disaster.
It's a lot.
But it's also what makes it so compelling.
Yeah, for sure.
You're rooting for Chad to find some happiness, but you also know that this could blow up in his face spectacularly.
Absolutely. And it kind of makes you wonder, like, what would you do in his shoes?
Right. It's like this impossible choice.
Seek justice for your dead wife or protect the woman you're falling for?
Tough call.
Okay, but while Chad is drowning in his feelings, let's not forget about Vivian, because she's apparently decided that jail is for suckers.
Oh, yeah, she's not done yet.
No, her escape attempts are getting kind of comical at this point.
It's like she's treating this whole thing as a personal challenge.
To outsmart the Salem PD.
Exactly. And with Ivan as her partner in crime, she's actually pulling it off.
It's crazy.
They're like a modern-day Bonnie and Clyde.
But with less bank robbing and more dramatic confrontations in hospital hallways.
Right.
Okay, speaking of drama, let's talk about Clyde. This dude waltzes back into town and immediately starts stirring the pot.
Oh, yeah. Clyde knows how to make an entrance.
And that offer he makes to Chad, that is just cold-blooded.
It's classic Clyde manipulation. He knows exactly how to push people's buttons.
Especially when they're vulnerable.
Exactly. He sees that Chad is desperate for answers about Abigail.
And he uses that to his advantage.
Trading information for drop charges, it's ruthless.
Seriously, who does that?
But it makes you think, like, how far would you go to find peace after a tragedy?
Right. Would you make a deal with the devil himself?
It's a tough question.
Okay, enough about Clyde. Let's talk about Gabi. Girl is going through it.
Divorce papers, a fake goodbye letter.
And EJ whispering sweet nothings in her ear.
It's a lot to handle.
Seriously, she's on an emotional roller coaster.
You can see the hurt and anger over Stefan's departure.
But there's also this flicker of hope.
Like maybe this is a chance for her to finally move on.
And with EJ lurking around, you know, there's potential for some serious fireworks.
Oh, their chemistry is undeniable.
But there's also a lot of baggage between them.
So much history.
This love triangle is going to be good.
Classic soap opera drama.
But while Gabi is sorting out her love life, let's not forget about the Green siblings. Their storyline is getting more and more intriguing.
Yeah, that reveal that Kat is Aaron's sister, that was a major twist.
It definitely threw a wrench into things.
And with the mystery surrounding their mother's disappearance still unsolved, there's definitely more to come.
It's like peeling back the layers of an onion. And each layer reveals more secrets and more drama.
And poor Chad is caught right in the middle of it all.
Trying to build a relationship while simultaneously investigating your girlfriend's brother for murder. Yeah, that's Salem for you.
But you know what?
Yeah.
There's also this weird sense of hope in all of this.
How so?
Well, I mean, it's like these characters are all searching for something, for answers, for connection, for a way to heal.
Yeah, that's true.
And even though their lives are messy and complicated, there's this underlying belief that maybe, just maybe, they can find what they're looking for.
It's that hope that keeps us watching, Ray.
Absolutely. We want to see if these characters can overcome the odds.
And find some semblance of happiness.
But let's be real, this is Salem.
So we know that happiness probably won't last long.
Right.
Speaking of happiness, can we talk about Rafe and Jada for a moment?
Oh, yeah, their engagement, that was a breath of fresh air.
Amidst all the chaos and heartache.
It's a reminder that love can still exist in a town as dysfunctional as Salem.
It really is.
Rafe's heartfelt proposal. Jada's emotional acceptance.
It was beautiful.
It's a well-deserved moment of happiness for both of them.
They've both been through so much.
But knowing this show, something will inevitably come along to test their relationship.
Oh, for sure.
Question is, what will it be?
Ooh. You're right, it's never smooth sailing in Salem. Okay, but while we wait for the other shoe to drop, let's circle back to Chad's decision. Accepting Clyde's offer was a huge gamble.
It was. It shows how desperate he is for closure.
But it also puts him in a very dangerous position.
He's essentially made a deal with the devil, and we all know how those deals usually end.
Yeah, this is not going to end well.
But it also reveals a new side to Chad.
How so?
Well, he's not just a grieving husband seeking revenge. He's also a man who's willing to compromise his values for the sake of his loved ones.
That's a good point.
It's a complex decision that will have far-reaching consequences.
And that's what makes Days so captivating, right?
Exactly. Every choice, every action has the potential to set off a chain of events that can alter the course of these characters' lives forever.
It's like one big domino effect.
And in Salem, you never know which domino is going to fall next.
Okay, so we've got Vivian still on the loose, Chad tangled up with Clyde, the Green family secrets slowly unraveling, and Gabi caught in a love triangle.
Is there anyone in Salem who isn't dealing with major drama?
Okay, so I think it's safe to say Salem is a hot mess express, and we're all just along for the ride.
Yeah, no kidding.
But amidst all the chaos, there are these glimmers of genuine emotion, like with Chad and Kat.
Yeah, their relationship is definitely a fascinating study in contrasts.
It's complicated, to say the least.
Grieving, falling in love, dealing with family secrets.
It's like they're trying to build a relationship on a foundation of quicksand.
And yet there's this tenderness between them.
Yeah, you can see it.
A shared understanding of pain and loss.
Makes you wonder if maybe they can find some solace in each other.
Maybe.
But this is Salem, so I'm not holding my breath.
Right.
Okay, let's talk about Aaron for a second. Finding out about his mom's disappearance like that,
That was rough.
you could see the pain and resentment just pouring out of him.
Years of bottled up emotions.
And blaming Clyde is understandable.
Of course.
But it's clear that Aaron needs more than just revenge.
He wants answers.
He wants to know why his life turned out the way it did.
Closure.
Exactly. And that search is going to lead to some intense confrontations.
Especially with Clyde.
Speaking of Clyde, Chad, making a deal with that devil,
That was a bold move.
it was risky. But it shows how desperate Chad is for closure,
He's choosing peace over vengeance.
which is huge for him considering his history.
It's like he's breaking free from that cycle of violence.
But let's be real, this deal's going to have consequences.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
just don't know what they are yet.
And that's what keeps us coming back for more, right?
The suspense,
The drama.
the endless possibilities.
Exactly.
Okay, so to recap, Vivian is still out there plotting her next escape. Chad is tangled up with Clyde. Aaron is on a mission for the truth. And Gabi is caught in a love triangle.
Sounds about right.
Is there anyone in Salem who isn't dealing with major drama?
Well, there's Rafe and Jada.
Oh yeah, their engagement.
It's like a ray of sunshine in all this darkness.
It's a reminder that love can actually exist in Salem.
It was a beautiful moment.
Rafe's proposal, Jada's acceptance.
They deserve some happiness,
But you know what they say, happiness is fleeting.
especially in Salem.
So we'll see how long it lasts.
Right.
But for now, let's just enjoy this little bit of joy before the storm inevitably hits.
Agreed.
So to sum it all up, Salem is a whirlwind of drama, and we wouldn't have it any other way.
It's a guilty pleasure.
But a pleasure
It's
that
not on the edge of our seats.
and that's what we love about it.
Exactly.
So that wraps up our deep dive into this wild episode of Days.
Until next time.
And as always, thanks for joining us for the deep dive.